Hey guys, I'm Justin. This is Brianna. This is our daughter Eleanor. Oliver's sleeping. We decided to do an update video instead of trying to tell everybody individually what's going on. We figured it'd be a lot easier to make a video and just if somebody asks what's going on, we can just send them the video because there's a lot of information to go through. And we also figured if there's somebody else that's going through a situation similar to ours, they can do a Google search and stumble across this video and find a little bit of encouragement and some hope. So. For those of you that don't know, in 2012, I was diagnosed with CML, chronic myelogenous leukemia. If you don't know what that is or need a refresher course, anything like that, we posted a video. I did a video the other day on it. I'll have the link for it in the description. You can click on that. I recommend watching that first so you know what. Because I'm going to go into a little bit of details and you kind of need to know what's going on. So go and watch that and then come back and finish this video. So, Thanksgiving Day 2012, I was diagnosed with leukemia at 11 o'clock in the morning. And I took the Tasigna like I was supposed to, and then I came off of it for about a year because it was really expensive and my insurance didn't cover it. And I didn't realize I was able to get on a charity to get it for free. And it's like, I think it's like $5,000 a month was the medication I was on at the time. And so in 2014, April 2014, I was re-hospitalized. I was in the hospital for about a month and a half. Brianna Snapchatted me and asked me how I was doing, and we started talking, and we actually got married the next year. And we have our two beautiful babies. Not supposed to be able to have babies on the medication, but we have our two beautiful babies now. And so recently, I've been going to get labs drawn to get the white blood cell count and all that. And they've started doing the BCR-ABL testing to see how much of that protein was in the body and stuff and make sure everything was working right. And that percentage is supposed to be 0.01% or less, and mine was at like 82 or 83%, something like that. And so the doctor's really concerned about it. He put me, just made me told me to make sure I was really, really strict on medication. So I went and started taking my medications actively like I was supposed to. And went back, it dropped down to 30%, then it went down to 18%. The next time I got tested, this is about 2-month intervals between the testing. The next time it went up to 21%, and so they didn't know if it had just leveled off or if it had a resistance, if it had mutated and had a resistance to the Tasigna. So they tested me again 2 months later. They gave me the higher dosage of Tasigna, tested me again 2 months later, and the number had gone up from 21 to 31%. And so at which point the doctor said there's definitely going to be a mutation, and I believe this is resistant to Tasigna, so we'll do some tests, find out what the mutation is. They did the test, and it turns out it did have a mutation, and it's the T315I mutation. And that mutation, the way that it works is, so the Tasigna, the BCR-ABL protein, the Tasigna encapsulates the BCR-ABL protein, prevents it from having the phosphorylation to not allow that on signal to be turned on. So if it effectively overrides the on signal and allows the body to function as normal. The BCR-ABL protein, however, mutated, and so the Tasigna is no longer able to bind onto the BCR-ABL, and so therefore the Tasigna was rendered ineffective. That particular mutation is resistant to all forms of drugs that we currently have except for one, and that's called ponatinib, and it's labeled as Iclusig, ICLUSIG. And so this particular drug, it can treat the BCR-ABL protein, it can treat the CML relatively effectively. However, it's not a permanent long-term solution. Eventually it will stop working. That might be in 6 months, that might be in 6 years, we don't know. At which point, then the only option is a bone marrow transplant. The bone marrow transplant, if the cancer numbers are not where they need to be, the bone marrow transplant is only a way to buy time. Average life expectancy is about 5 years. However, if the cancer counts where they need to be, then I have a chance to live a long, healthy life. So what we're going to do is, in about somewhere between 3 and 6 months' time, however long it takes to get the cancer cells to where they need to be, I will go in and get a bone marrow transplant. And what that entails is after this 3 to 6 months, however long it takes, after that period of time, I will go on a 7-day chemo regimen, and it's going to be really, really strong chemo. And what that'll do is I actually knock out my immune system and make room inside of my bone marrow to receive the transplant. And so once that regimen is over, they would then inject a donor's stem cells into me. And the way that works is a donor goes to the doctor, they get a couple vials of blood drawn, they run some tests on it to see what the tissue type is. They don't care about blood type and all that. They're only looking at tissue type. And there's 10 specific markers that they're looking for that tissue type. And they're looking for a 10 out of 10 match. That's a perfect match. Siblings have a 25% chance of being a perfect match. I have 4 siblings, so my odds are pretty good to find a match. If they don't find a match with a sibling, they will then go on the database they have of people that voluntarily put themselves on there to donate their bone marrow. And so what that means is if they are a match, you basically go and you give blood. Like and so when I received the transplant, it's not actually like cutting into me and taking out bone marrow and putting it in my bones or anything like that. It's just they take some blood from somebody else, just like if you donate blood to Red Cross, and they inject it in me. What happens though, because the chemo has destroyed my immune system and has destroyed all the stem cells that's inside the bone marrow, inside of my marrow, when they inject that good blood, that fresh blood into my body, the stem cells from that blood can set up inside of my bone marrow and begin to create a new immune system. When I do get a new immune system, my immune system will be a carbon copy of the donor's immune system. And not only that, this is really cool, I think. So say if I'm A positive or A negative and the donor is O positive, my new blood type, I will not have A negative anymore. I will now be O positive. And so whatever blood type the donor is, that's the blood type I will have. Because it's just like how a baby, when it's conceived in the womb, it doesn't have its own immune system. Its stem cells starts to create its own immune system. It has 9 months in the mother's belly to create an immune system. And for the first 6 months or so, it has no immune system. And then after that, it's a very immature immune system. The same thing will happen with me. So after I received the transplant, for about 6 months, I would have to be under complete isolation. Anybody that comes by has to wear masks, wash their hands, and gloves, and all that. And I'll have to be in a completely sterile environment because I'll be at a high risk for infections. So the transplant is not the scary part. That is just simply having a blood transfusion done. That's very simple. The chemo is relatively tolerable. The big problem is the following 6 months to a year. So for the first month after receiving the transplant, somebody will have to, I won't be able to drive for the first 3 months. And for the first month, I'll have to have somebody take me down there every day for 6 hours a day so they can monitor my levels and everything and make sure I don't get an infection. So the big risk is getting an infection. If I get an infection, my body has no way to kill the infection, and so the infection can run rampant. So if I do get an infection, which most likely I will, they have medications to counteract that, antivirals, antibacterials, and antifungals, all kinds of different things they can give me to stop that from happening. There's also something called GVHD, graft versus host disease. And so it's the same concept as when you get a transplant. So like say you get a new heart or lungs or kidney or something like that, your body's immune system fights against that new organ that you've received in your body. It sees it as a foreign object. It's a foreigner inside of your body. So your immune system attacks that. So you have to take anti-rejection medication, which suppresses your immune system and prevents it from attacking that organ until it has time to get used to the organ and begins to recognize it as a part of your body. The exact same thing happens when you get a transplant, but in reverse. Instead of my immune system attacking a foreign organ, the immune system sees my entire body as foreign because it's now saying, hey, this isn't our body, this is somebody else's body, and it starts attacking, and it can attack every single organ in your body, it can attack any of them. And so the most common one, the doctor was telling me, is that it can cause a skin rash, which they can treat relatively easily. It can attack your guts and cause really bad diarrhea. It can attack your lungs. It can attack your eyes, cause you have blurred vision. That new immune system, it'll just see everything in my body as a foreign object and try to attack it. So I have to take basically anti-rejection medications to kind of inhibit that immune system, to keep my new immune system from attacking me. And so the first month I'll be going down there every day for 6 hours. The second month I'll be going down there every other day. I'll be receiving IVs and blood transfusion, all that kind of stuff. The third month I'll be going 3 times a week. The fourth month 2 times a week. The fifth month once a week. The sixth month every other week. After 6 months, I'll have a little bit of an immune system. It'll be a very immature and very weak immune system. Um, After about a year, I'll have a fully developed immune system. So if I can make it through that first year, then I'll be good. At which point, then if everything goes like it should, that new immune system, if there are any cancer cells, it'll attack those cancer cells. Right now, my immune system doesn't attack those cancerous cells. It doesn't see them as a threat, and so it allows them to thrive. This new immune system that I have will attack them and destroy it, and it is considered to be curative. So if it works and everything goes as planned, it'll be curative, and I won't have to deal with cancer anymore. Yeah, is there anything else? Okay. So now that we got all that out of the way, you understand what's going on. That's currently what I know will be happening. That should happen about somewhere between 3 and 6 months. I've been overwhelmed with the amount of people that send me messages telling me, "Hey, I want to get tested." People that I barely know. Like I worked at Subway and Walmart, and I became friends with a lot of people that worked at Walmart, but I only ever saw them at Walmart. I just know them from Walmart, and I don't know them personally. I don't know anything about their family life or their home life, but they're my friends, and they have sent me messages saying, "Hey, we want to donate to you. What do we need to get tested for? If you need a donator, I'll gladly go and get tested." And that's like, it's amazing to me. I had a childhood friend I haven't spoke to in years, and he sent me a message saying, "Hey, I'm not asking you if you want me to. I'm telling you, I'm going to go to the doctor. I need you to tell me what I need to tell the doctor you can test me for." And to all these people that are just the outpouring of love that we've received and support that my wife and I have gotten has been amazing. And it's just I can't say thank you enough. With that being said, for the donor, they will look at siblings first, at which point if siblings are not a match, silly goose. At which point, if siblings are not a match, they will look on the database they have. The database has about 30 million people on it. The doctor said, more than likely the odds are that he'll find me a donor. The reason why there's 30 million people on this list is because they check family first, your siblings, and then they don't check random people. They only check what's on that database. So people like you who have offered to donate to me go and put themselves on that list and make themselves available so that when somebody like me comes along, I have a donor. So if you want to donate to me and you want to be a donor for me, I ask you, go and put yourself on that list. It's a simple blood draw. When I find out how to do that, I'll put the information up as soon as I find out how to. I'll make a quick video telling you guys where to go to get that done. But go and get tested and have yourself in that database. Then if somebody's baby needs a life-saving blood transfusion to save their lives, that had from your stem cells, like you're there, you can save their life. So you're doing this out of selflessness and out of generosity for your fellow human and for your fellow man. And so I ask you to pay that forward, and even if my siblings aren't a match, it turns out that you are a match. If you put yourself on that list and you turn out to be a match, then you'll be able to donate to me as well. So please, I ask you to go put yourself on that list, especially if you're a minority. So a lot of those markers have to do with race, and there's not as many of the minorities on that list as there are of just white Caucasian males. So please, especially if you're a minority, go put yourself on the list. People are desperately need this, and so if you want to help me, that's the best way that you can help me. The other thing is my wife, that she's going to have to take care of me, the kids, the animals, and take care of my grandpa. It's going to be a lot. I think my mother-in-law may come up for a little bit. My mom's going to help and pitch in, but it's going to take a village. I'm not going to be able to do much myself, and I'm going to be dependent on people, and that's going to be weird for me. I've never been dependent on anybody. I'm a very independent person, and so just please continue to keep us in your prayers. Your prayers, I covet them. They mean so much to me. They mean so much to us. We really greatly appreciate your prayers. And so, one other thing I'd like to say is, going through all this, it made me come to grips with reality. Life is short. I'm not promised tomorrow. This cancer could knock me out next week. I don't know. It's a lot of uncertainty with it. And so I've learned to treasure and cherish the small moments in my life. And I've learned to not get so mad over little things. Like I have my wallet. My daughter, she loves going to my wallet, taking out all my cards and my driver's license. a year ago or so, she took out my driver's license, and I lost my driver's license for like 6 months. I didn't have it. I had to go to the DDS and go get a new license. All this. Turns out that driver's license was underneath the rug. This little stinker had dropped underneath the rug, and that made me really frustrated. But now it's like I'm kicking myself in the butt for being frustrated, because like that's sweet. She just wanted to be like Daddy. She saw Daddy's wallet and wanted to be like her daddy, and wanted to play with the stuff, and saw the picture. She dropped it, and it got kicked under the rug. It was an accident. It was nothing for me to get upset over. And so I've learned to not let the little things upset me so much. I've learned to treasure those little moments. That little losing my license now, that's a memory that I have and I'll cherish for the rest of my life. I'll have that. And so I've learned to be slow to anger. You know, be loving. Find those around you that are, when your life is over, all you have, you don't have your stuff. Your house, if you're old and you need to go to nursing home, the nursing home takes your house. If you're old and you have cars, you can't drive anymore. If you get sick where you like to go do things outside and you get sick where you're bedridden, you can't do that anymore. The stuff and the material things in your life is not important. The only thing that you have, when it comes down to it, when everything is over and it's all said and done, all you have is your family and your God. Cherish your family. Cherish them. Love your babies. Don't get so mad at them. If you have kin folks that you're not talking to, go and make things right. Make amends with them. Love them. They love you. That's all you have is the people that you love. If there's somebody that you're not talking to, go and make it right. Don't wait until it's too late and be an old and have regrets. Don't live with regrets. You have one chance at this life. It's short. It's like a vapor. It's here today and gone tomorrow. Yesterday I was a kid. Today I'm 30. Tomorrow I'll be in the grave. That's how fast life is. It goes by. It feels like just a couple hours ago she was an infant in my arms, and now she's almost 3. And so treasure the little things. And we thank you guys, for everything you've done. And I'll leave you with this. So with my daughter, when she's feeling frustrated, we have a little song we sing to help her calm down, and it's give a squeeze, nice and slow, take a deep breath, and let it go. So take a deep breath, give a squeeze, count to 4, let it go, relax, don't get so mad. Be patient, be slow to anger. Don't let your anger steal things from your life, the valuable, important things. Don't get frustrated and let your frustration, your emotions steal from your future. Thank y'all for your prayers. God bless you. We'll keep you guys updated with what's going on. We'll keep making videos. So subscribe to this. If you want to get notified, click the little notification bell. Give us a thumbs up. It helps spread it, so if there is somebody else that's facing this and are trying to find some videos, they can find our video and be on this journey together. We're all in this world together. So love you guys.